Hey, Vince Rush coming at you. This is a little bit different message. This is going to be a minute or two long and stuff. And this is not really a golf tip. This is a tip for managers of golf courses. You know, for my career, I've owned three companies over the years. I do sales and leadership training and motivational speaking across the country right now. Very proud of that. Travel all over the United States. And one of the things that I want to point out, if you're a golf course manager or a superintendent, actually not superintendent, that really wouldn't be your area. But if you're a golf course manager, I love the movie that the founder with Ray Kroc, and I love the scene where the banker, the guy meets him at the bank. The banker won't give him the money. The guy meets him. It was Ryan from The Office, if you remember, but meets him outside, and they go into an office, and eventually they get down to looking at his books, and he says, "You don't know what business you're in, Ray. You're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business." You know, one thing I basically believe, and one of my mantras is average companies see themselves as being in a product or a service business. Golf courses, average golf courses, see themselves as being in the golf course business. But great golf courses see themselves as being in the golf experience business. You know, great companies see themselves as being in the experience business, and that's the customer experience, and it's the beginning to end. It's not just, you know, the pitch, it's not just the product, but what do you do after? What is that relational currency and time and emotional equity that you invest into that client? That creates the overall experience. And when you're good at creating an incredible experience that disrupts their expectations, you move from this two stages of customers, which are satisfied customers, which are apathetic, raving fans, as Ken Blanchard talked about, that only cheer for you if somebody mentions your name, but you move to a higher level. It's called disciples. These are people that go out and preach the good news of your message, your product, your service, or your experience that they had with your golf course without provocation, because it disrupts everything. You know, golf courses that think they're Pinehurst or think that they're Augusta and treat you as if you should feel honored to walk onto their sacred ground, those are courses that tolerate you. What you ultimately want to look for in the courses that I see, the business owners like a Dalton Dodd, you know, owns a course called Jasper Hills in Sugar Valley and Pickwick Country Club, is a brilliant business owner because he understands and teaches the culture within his organization that, hey, we're in the golf experience business. And that is from the ease of check-in, the way you're treated by the staff, the way the pro shop recognizes you and appreciates you for coming in and spending your money with them. Okay, you should feel appreciated. I actually belong to a club. I belong to a couple clubs, but the main club I work with is Shake and Run here in Lebanon, Ohio. A few years ago, they were in the golf course business, and they really kind of developed kind of a bad reputation. And the course actually kind of went downhill because the number of rounds that were coming in to support the business wasn't as robust as they needed. But then they took new ownership a couple years ago, and the ownership, they're true entrepreneurs, and they told the golf people at the course, they said, "You guys run the golf course. This is a business investment for us, and we will follow you because we don't know anything about the golf course business." And that's what they've done. And Shaker Run has become an incredible golf experience now, and it's getting even better. So think about that. It takes about 2 years to turn the tide and change the mental metabolism of your entire staff. It's not overnight. To change a culture is like turning an aircraft carrier around in the ocean. It's about 2.5 miles to turn the aircraft carrier around. Well, it's about 2 years to turn a complete culture around. So no matter what business you're in, but especially the golf course business, transition your paradigm or your mindset, your focus, your mental compass is teach your people, we are in the golf experience business. And within 2 years, your results will be off the charts different. You'll be able to actually look and see where you were a couple years ago versus where you are at that point 2 years later. This is Vince Rush from Shake and Run in Lebanon, Ohio.